7 of the 8 nations that have ever lifted the World Cup are already heading to 2026. But there is one country staring at all of them. Not with fear, not with hope, with absolute belief. The World Cup has a serious Portugal problem, and this time it might not have an answer.
Do you expect Cristiano to win the World Cup in America in 2026?
Wow. They can. They just won the Nations Cup. They just beat the European champions.
Yeah.
So they can. They've got the best left back in the world. They've got some of the best midfielders in the world in Neves, in Bruno Fernandes. They've got a deep squad. They've got players who's a bit of a maverick like Rafael Leao can come on and do a madness if he wants. And they've got someone who can always put the ball in the back of the net, and that's Cristiano.
This is, without any question, the greatest Portuguese team ever. And the numbers don't lie. The same squad bulldozed through Euro 2024 qualification. 10 games played, 10 games won. They handed Luxembourg a 9-0 and Armenia a 9-1 lesson. The biggest wins in Portugal's history. And now they arrive as UEFA Nations League champions. Under Roberto Martinez, 34 wins, 3 draws, 1 defeat. 1 single defeat. In goal, Diogo Costa, the coldest goalkeeper at this tournament, penalty hero against Spain. At the back, Ruben Dias and Matheus Nunes, with Guardiola's blessings stamped on both of them. And on the left, Nuno Mendes, the man who turned the world's most hyped teenager into just another winger. This defense doesn't just protect, it punishes. But what truly makes this Portugal side frightening lies in midfield. Vitinha, the brain behind PSG's Champions League, possibly the finest midfielder on the planet. Bruno Fernandes, the best creator in the Premier League, arguably in all of world football. Bernardo Silva, the man Guardiola trusts more than anyone. And then, João Neves, the diamond, destroying Champions League nights with intensity and intelligence beyond his years. The creativity in this team is genuinely obscene. Pedro Neto, Rafael Leão, João Felix, Francisco Conceição, Gonçalo Ramos, João Cancelo, Diogo Dalot, Francisco Trincao, and then him, Cristiano Ronaldo. The man, the myth, the legend, the GOAT. The man who didn't just become Portugal's greatest player, he rewrote what Portugal is. Before him, Portugal had qualified for only 3 of 11 Euros, 27%. At the World Cup, barely 18%. No trophies, and no dynasty, no aura. Then Cristiano arrived. And suddenly, 6 Euros out of 6. 6 World Cups out of 6. 1 European Championship and 2 Nations League titles. He didn't just raise the ceiling, he demolished it and built a kingdom. Portugal's history divides into 3 chapters. The first, silence. The 1966 World Cup under Eusebio was their single shining moment, beating Hungary, Bulgaria, even Brazil, before losing to England in the semis. And after that, decade after decade of near misses and disappearances. The second chapter began with Euro 2004, hosting on home soil, the dream so close, until Greece stole it twice. Germany 2006 was growth, not glory. 2012 showed the fear was real. And then 2016, the greatest shock in modern football. A Portugal team that couldn't win a single match in the group stage, crawled into the knockouts and survived every battle. In the final against France, in the first few minutes, the captain was injured with a reckless challenge. Ronaldo left in tears, fearing the dream had left him behind once again. But Cristiano Ronaldo didn't give up on the dream. The wounded captain at the sideline led Portugal with his soul, and then in extra time. Better. One strike. One moment. Champions of Europe. Nations League 2019. Portugal gave the world a reminder of exactly who they were becoming. The UEFA Nations League, a brand new competition. And Portugal, playing on home soil, turned it into their own coronation. In the semi-final against Switzerland, Cristiano Ronaldo put on a one-man show. A stunning free kick to open. Then, with the game drifting toward extra time, 2 goals in 2 minutes. 88th and 90th. A hat trick. Pure will. Pure Ronaldo. Then in the final, against the Netherlands at the Estadio do Dragão, one moment of magic was all it took. Gonçalo Guedes, one strike, one trophy. Portugal had done it again. Back-to-back titles after Euro 2016. Nation that once had nothing, now collecting silverware like it belonged to them all along. And Ronaldo, captain, leader, legend, lifted the trophy in front of his own people. FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022. Portugal looked unstoppable. Gonçalo Ramos erupted with a hat trick in that 6-1 destruction of Switzerland. Then came Morocco. 1 goal. 1 stunning defeat. And football gave us one of its most painful moments. Cristiano Ronaldo walking into the tunnel, in tears, believing it was over. The dream shattered. But what Cristiano didn't know, Portugal's greatest generation had not even fully arrived yet. January 2023, Roberto Martinez walks in, and the rebuild begins. Not a slow one, an explosion. The Nations League group stage told the whole story. A 2-1 win over Croatia, Ronaldo on the score sheet immediately. Against Scotland, Bruno Fernandes scored a screamer, and then Ronaldo, the winning goal. And then, the statement performance. 5-second half goals in one of the most one-sided 45 minutes you'll ever see at this level. Rafael Leão tearing through them. Bruno finishing. Pedro Neto adding another. And then Cristiano Ronaldo, a ridiculous, breathtaking bicycle kick. In the semi-final against Germany, Ronaldo beat his old nemesis for the very first time in his career. And in that final, against Spain, Nuno Mendes locked down Lamine Yamal and scored a stunning goal. And then, 40 years old Cristiano Ronaldo still scoring, still answering on the biggest stages of world football. And then, Diogo Costa saved Morata's penalty. Ruben Neves buried the winning kick. Portugal were champions again. 22 goals in 9 matches, a statement to the entire world. This was a team ready to conquer. And now they come to 2026. Vitinha, back-to-back UEFA Champions League winner, 2 seasons leading all touch metrics in Europe. João Neves, the most complete young midfielder on the planet. Bruno Fernandes, the man who dragged United back into the Champions League. Nuno Mendes, a complete monster at left back. And leading them all, Cristiano Ronaldo, 41 years old, still scoring. 7 in the Nations League, 5 more in World Cup qualifying, 9 7-1 career goals, the road to 1,000, still alive. But records are no longer what keep him awake. What keeps him awake is this. For the first time in his life, he has the squad, the manager, the generation. This might genuinely be good enough. And that is why the World Cup has a serious Portugal problem.